What's up, world? It's your boy, Coach EV, aka EV the Geeker, and welcome to another episode of the Geeker Report podcast. Man, I am as excited as I can be because I have a great guest today from Indy. He's in Indy. He'll be coming on here shortly. I have the great, magnificent Cuonzo Martin. Cuonzo Martin is the head coach of Missouri, uh, uh, a coaching legend in my mind. He has coached all over the country. And I'm telling you, in a few minutes, he'll be jumping on, and we're going to have a good time with him here this morning. Coming on about 10:45, so I'm not going to give too much about him because we're going to have about 15, 20 minutes with him. And I appreciate you guys for coming on this morning. Hey, listen, make sure that you jump on the chat today. Maybe we'll have time for a coach to uh, answer some of your questions. Before we get going, just want to let you know, as always, we are sponsored by, uh, you know who we sponsored by, Tatum and Wade Law Firm, located right here at 126 Amish Street, Jackson, Mississippi. Tatum and Wade are serious lawyers who get serious results. You know what I say? If you want to get paid, you need to go to Tatum and Wade. Listen, man, I'm telling you, I'm excited. Zoe's going to be on here. Zoe and I go way back. We've known each other for, man, over 20 years. And it's a blessing. He's in the midst of, Missouri made the tournament. He's in the midst of actually being a part of the tournament right now, preparing. Has a game Saturday versus Oklahoma, and he was so kind to allow me on to interview him during his hectic schedule. If you've ever been to the NCAA tournament, it's hectic. This year is totally different, being in a bubble. Everybody's in Indianapolis, Indiana, so there's a lot of stuff different about this, a little bit different than what has been in the past. And so if you want to ask some questions or whatever, as far as, to Coach Martin, who has a storied history. He's been the head coach at Missouri State, Tennessee, California, and now Missouri. Longtime basketball player at Purdue. And so played a little bit, had a stint or two in the NBA, played overseas, just has a phenomenal story. We did a podcast earlier in the year, and I would encourage you to go back. Very motivational, a little longer. You get a chance to, in that podcast, when we did an interview in the summertime, you get a chance to really know Ian as a quality, high character individual that I love dearly as a brother. And so, again, I'm excited to have him. He'll be on here in about 5 minutes. We got on a little early because we wanted to just make sure everything was, be able to be honest with you, right on our end as far as the, make sure we get any technical difficulties out of the way. And I think that we are good. Let me know, those of you who are on right now, let me know how my sound is. Give me a thumbs up, how it sounds, how it looks. Let me know before we go live, because that's important. So if you would just give me a little shout, type it in the chat right now, and let me know how things are going. Also, let me know, who is your favorite for the NCAA tournament. Who do you have? Who do you have winning? Be honest with you, I've been so busy this year. I've been really engulfed with these Mississippi high school tournaments and private public schools. I have to say, I haven't watched much college basketball this year. And that's unusual for me because I always try to catch in some games here. So, a couple shout outs. Locally, Jackson State men ran the table in the regular season, went 11-0 during this COVID year, and they were the co-SWAC champions with Prairie View. Shout out to Wayne Brent, Casenberg, Woodall and Deshaun Dixon, that staff over there, and AD Ashley Robinson. Obviously prime time. It says Coach Prime over there got the football thing rolling. They're 3-0, number 24 in the country. And then Tamika Reed. Tamika Reed, you can say what you want. Tamika Reed is one of the best coaches in the country. She took I can go back as far as she went to a Hines Junior College and took over a women's program there that hadn't won, and she took them almost to the national tournament. And then she comes to Jackson State. She's been coach of the year. She's won 2 regular season titles, and then she gets her first NCAA bid this year. So shout out to Tamika Reed, Richard Bradley, LaShonda Cousin, a young star in the making, and the veteran superstar, former basketball player, just wonderful individual, and Juanita Ward. So shout out to the Lady Tigers of Jackson State. That's here on a local front. They'll be playing the Bailey Lady Bears come this week, and they are in the San Antonio bubble. So again, let me know. I don't hear anybody in my chat. I can't believe that my chat. I already spoke to Alicia Nelson. Hello. I need somebody to just tell me in the chat how we are looking, and how we're sounding. So it's important if you do that for me. I'll give you another little announcement. We'll have Isaac Brown, the newly named head coach of Wichita State, a little later today. He's going to give us an interview as well. So we got a big day today. Again, you got 2, a veteran coach and a young coach, in the sense of this is his first head coaching experience. In his first year, he gets to the NCAA tournament, and Isaac Brown coming up later. So again, Zoe popping on. And matter of fact, as we speak, Cuonzo Martin is in. And so he probably is not going to know that we are live. And you know what? How you doing?
What's going on?
You're live. I just want to let you know that.
Oh, alrighty. Coach, being here just a second. I apologize.
That's okay. You all good. This is how we do it on the Geek Report. It's all just a geek, baby. I mean, we have now introduce yourself real quick so we can know. I forgot. You got to introduce yourself.
All right, joining live. So my name is RJ Layton. I work for Coach Martin with the Mizzou men's basketball team. I'm the public relations social media guy. So help Coach get connected on great shows like this. So Coach, you ready?
The great RJ Layton. No, we got to properly introduce you. You're not just RJ, and I knew it was that. You're the great RJ. You are the guy that makes it happen. I had to get us on live early because, I'm not big time like y'all, RJ. So I had to make sure everything, was ready to go. I didn't need no glitches because I know Cuonzo. We got to get all that time. I got to get all my time with him.
All right, Coach is right here, and we are live, Coach.
What's up, EV?
There he is, my guy, Cuonzo Martin. Every time, you are my guy. I mean, my friend, we've been knowing each other for so many years. And man, I just want to thank you because you know how we do it. Usually when I text you, I get that 3 to 6 day, I give you that 3 to 6 day window. And when I really was geeking. When I text you, I'll be honest with you, I was geeking. I said, man, Zoe's in the tournament. It ain't no way he got time for me this week. But you know what, Lord, let's see. And when you didn't text me back with RJ, man, I was so excited. I was like, that is my dude, Zoe Martin. He found time in his busy day. I appreciate you, bro.
It's least I can do, EV. How you doing, man?
Man, doing great.
Lighty.
Hey, I just want to say something to you. My guy, and it's your guy too, one of the sponsors of the show, Tunde Wade, wanted me to holler at you and say, what up? Tunde Wade, Wade Law Firm right here in Jackson, Mississippi. You know what I said last time? They are serious lawyers who get serious results. But I say if you want to get paid, you better go to Tatum and Wade. He gonna get you paid now.
That's a good man. I like Tunde.
Yeah, Tanya is good. Hey, Zoe, I know you got a lot of time. Let's talk about a few things real quick. And again, I appreciate it. Let's talk. Let's start. You guys finished 7th in the SEC. Your conference record was 8-8, 16-9. Started out like kind of really strong. Stumbled at the end, I guess, in the last 10 games with a 4-6 record. Talk to me a little bit about that. Some people would say that you guys barely made it in, as a 9th seed. And talk to me a little bit about, this year as far as, you jumping off to that good start and then, at the end, just kind of evening out.
But one thing about me, I've never been consumed with what some people say. And when you're talking 9-4, 7 Tier 1 wins, and then you're saying, I think Gonzaga might have had 8. When you look at resumes across the board, so a 9 seed, I think we were so short if you're looking at resumes. So again, that's why I've never been consumed with some people say whatever that is, that doesn't matter to me. I'm just excited about our guys being in the NCAA tournament and happy to be here, and let's have some fun with it.
Let me ask you this. This is totally different. You've been to the postseason a total of 9 times, but you've been to 4 NCAA tournaments. This year, you are in a bubble in Indianapolis, your hometown, basically. This is a place that you actually hit a lot of jumpers in. You're one of the few people that probably could shoot with me. And but that's another story. Right down the road at Purdue. Tell me, what is the preparation like? You guys don't play this Saturday. You're already there, not knowing, eating, making sure the COVID-19. Talk to us a little bit about that, the bubble experience.
Well, it's a different experience, but I don't think it's a bad experience. But I think what happens is it's simply a business trip, so to speak. Because oftentimes in these settings, you have people throughout the hotel, the atmosphere, the nostalgia, the NCAA tournament. But now it's just teams, and teams move about basically according to when it's your time to move about. So I think that part is great, man. You're obviously taking your COVID test every day. You have your practice time, you have your weightlifting times as a team, you have your eating times. You can't go out to restaurants, so you really can't leave the hotel unless you're going over to Victory Field to take a walk, but you can't leave the hotel otherwise. So everything is within the hotel. And again, I think it's been great. Now, you might ask a player, they might say something different, but I think for me as a coach and our staff, I think it's been great because you have your team here. We just got to try to find some ways to have some fun with your guys to try to break the monotony.
Oh, okay, that's awesome. Yeah, I agree with you, man. It's almost like, I don't know. To me, it's almost likened to a trip, almost like a team bonding trip within the year, in the sense that a lot of times you take your team anyway off somewhere where they can be alone anyway. So what you're saying, this is just done on a bigger scale.
It is, and again, so now you basically have your team where you practice, you eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner together. Well, the first day and a half, you had to pass 2 COVID tests. So you took the test and you're back in your room. So you really couldn't really be around your team, so to speak, unless you were meeting somewhere to talk about what your next move was. So I would say for about 36 hours, it was your COVID test, because you had to have 2 positive tests to really start moving about. And 2 negative tests to move about. We passed the test. And then we could be with our teams. Then we could practice. So again, I think just the camaraderie of being around your guys, the relationships, playing cards, dominoes, whatever it is, just and what you want to do is, because you can get caught up being in a bubble and say, man, I'm ready to go home. So you might have some guys with 1 foot out the door because the experience, and they're not used to just being in your room that long of time. So you got to try to find ways to make it fun and exciting up until you get to the game.
Talk to me, just dig a little deeper. All year long, everybody, this has been a different year. How have you guys been able, how many, like if you had some COVID issues, this is the COVID-19 season, let's just face it, how have you guys been able to deal with it all year long, pretty much?
Sometimes you just have your fingers crossed, because I think we had three or four guys that never had a positive COVID test. So now you also just making sure at what point would it happen for those guys. It never happened. But other guys, they experienced the virus. They had it, positive test. So, but you took the test 3 or 4 times a week. So then you coming in, you take your test, you go to practice. You take your test the next day, you go to practice. So just one of those deals, man, just really teaching your players more than anything to stay out of harm's way, to try to stay away from parties and nightlife, the experiences that you normally get in college, but try to stay away from that as best you can. And I thought our guys did an admirable job, respecting the fact that, man, you don't want to put your teammates and your coaching staff and other people in harm's way.
Talk to me a little bit about your team this year. Obviously, to me, you're led by, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, Xavier Pinson, the junior, 6'2", averaging 14 points a game. Drew Smith averaging 14. And the big fella, I know a couple losses you had. The big fella, I don't think was around. Jeremiah Tillman, a senior, been here, a veteran. Then you got Mark Smith and Kobe Brown as anchors. The other guy, big fella, who's averaging, 8 and 6. Talk to me a little bit about your team. I know you've always preached toughness and different things, but your team this year.
I like my team. I like how we move. I think we were 13-3, and obviously when Jeremiah Tillman had the death in his family, it was a bump in the road for us, so to speak, as a team, because obviously we win and lose together. When you have a key piece, of course, his family's first and foremost. You have to take care of that. But he's a guy that, in our game plan, inside, outside. So now you don't have that presence to go inside. So now other guys have to step up and do things that they're not accustomed to doing or doing on a consistent basis. So it's not as if we were bad in games, just didn't have enough in some of those games. But I like our team. I like our chance against anybody. Because we beat top 10 teams. I love my team, and I'm excited about how we move from here.
Yeah, I was so happy. Obviously, I was definitely excited and happy because, we talked in the summer, and I asked you that big question. Are we getting to the big dance? And you did not shy away from it. This is not like you just started believing in your team. You believed from day one. You didn't care what they said or some people. And I'm me, I'm with that geek. It doesn't matter what they say and some people say. And you are a true testament to, to what you said earlier. And I'm excited that you guys are where you are. I'm excited to see where you're going. Talk to me a little bit about Oklahoma. That's your first opponent. Can you say anything? Tell me what do they do?
Talented team. They do a great job. Austin Reeves is a starting point guard at 6'5", very shifty, can score the ball, facilitates. And I think, they have obviously a really good team, but Manick is a 6'9", pick and pop 5-man. So he really puts pressure on you. And he's more built like a wing, a 4-man, but he plays the 5 for him. So now he put traditional 5s in the bind because of his ability to shoot and gets them off quick. So they do a great job of spacing you out and dribble, penetrating, getting that lane. And one thing they do a great job, and it's been kind of a staple of Coach Lon Kruger, they find those mismatches, those isolations. They'll take advantage of it the whole night. So what happens is a lot of dribble weaves, a lot of side ball screens, drag ball screens. Then Austin Reeves, they play off him, and he facilitates from them fine guys, and they just get downhill and make plays. But they'll score the ball. And again, you have to make those guys work on the other side of the ball, make their catches tough, make them guys play in front of you. You can't give angles. You give a team like this angles at the rim, you're in trouble.
Well, Zoe, man, there's never been a question, man. I'm not going to hold you. I just wanted to come and just tap you because I know you got a lot going on. And, man, I just want to say to you and say to all that's listening, Cuonzo Martin, again, is a guy that I've known for years. He's a leader of young men. He's a teacher. He's a mentor. He's not just, and let alone a basketball coach. You can hear how he understands the game, but he understands his young men. And Zoe, my hat's off to you. I salute you, man, because you're a man of God, someone who loves his wife. How's your wife doing, by the way, Roberta?
She's doing great. What you asked about it, again, with this COVID, just kind of give you insight with the bubble. You can't have family members in the hotel, So my wife, when she comes to Indy, she'll be staying at a different hotel with my daughter. So that's a different thing too. So you can't have family members in your room. So a little different.
Well, I know but the good thing is, man, she's always been a supporter. I remember coming to the game and when y'all played at North Carolina State, and I got a chance to sit behind her, just a quality individual and quality woman. And so, man, you guys, your marriage is so beautiful. Well, now in the bubble, in the NCAA, they are allowing fans, aren't they?
Yes.
Okay. Is it what capacity is it?
I think it might be 25%. I'm not exactly sure.
Okay. All right. Well,
yes.
Well, man, I appreciate you, Zoe, man. Again, man, I'm just so thankful you came on. I'm looking for a big time run. You went to the Sweet 16 in Tennessee. I just want to let you know my expectation is the Final Four. So
I appreciate that.
is my expectation, is that too high of an expectation? If you want, I'll bring it down.
Not at all, man. There's a God, I believe.
Okay, you believe?
Is that similar to the expectation that when people didn't think you could score 75 points in the game? Is that the same thing?
It's very simple. You know, when you say that, Zoe, you know, they don't believe that because, you know, 200 pounds ago, I was a point guard. Right now, they look at me, I'm an offensive guard, not a point guard. They think I'm an offensive guard or a nose guard. But no,
Davey, does anybody have that footage?
And you know what's crazy, Zoe? I had the footage years ago, man. It was a guy, you know, after he started at halftime, he realized, ooh, he may do something special, you know, because I had 58 after 3 quarters. And so, you know, they knew that something special was getting ready to happen. And then after the game, but you know what? If somebody's with the Flint Journal, they can go back into the archives and we'll get that article. Because I know you still, you know, so you really still don't believe it, you know, like you still kind of throw that out there. But I did have 75. And you got to think about it. There's only a few people that have been in that atmosphere, like guys like Wilt, Kobe, you know, Devin Booker, you know, those, just to name a few, you know, that I think maybe David Robinson had 70. So
you said the Flint Journal.
The Flint Journal. If somebody can go, and hey, I got the date it was. It was the day I got saved and gave my life to the Lord, August 7th, 1994. It's there in the sports. So I ain't got no problem with that. And people seen it. Matter of fact, Glenn Rice came to me afterwards and said, man, Evie, you put up 75? I said, yeah, man. You know, just one of those days for me, Zoe. You know, but you know, hey, this is not about me, Zoe. It's not, you brought that up. I wasn't gonna bring that up. Man, we're about the Missouri Tigers and going to the Final Four. But I appreciate that, Zoe, because you know what? You do know I got highlights, right? You know I got YouTube. You know I got the EV. You've seen them before. You've seen it. You've seen it, Zoe. You've seen it. You know.
I appreciate you, EV.
Yeah, appreciate you, man. Man, you just be blessed and have a great, and thanks RJ and all of Missouri Tigers, man. We just pray you guys tell my man Corn, you know, tell Corn, like when I tag him on stuff, like, come on, dog. He can hit me back. Like don't play me like that now. Me and him go way back. So
I tell him.
Can you please tell him? And you know, I tagged him, put him in my article I wrote about Isaac Brown. You know what I mean? And so you own it. Appreciate it, y'all. All right, man. Cuonzo Martin, guys. We appreciate him for coming on, and we man, that's awesome, man. Just again, Cuonzo Martin, head coach of Missouri, and so we're gonna sign off here for this episode. Please come back. We got another one with Isaac Brown, head coach of Wichita State. We'll be at 12:15 Central Time, 1:15 Eastern Time. So for Cuonzo Martin, I'm Eric Vaughn, aka Coach EV, aka EV the Geeker, saying so long, and I'll see you soon. And remember, it's all just a geek.